Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright. Let's go in.
What do you want me to do? Do you want me to press the button?
Have a look about. I'm guessing there's nothing else to do, but it always seems like there's a choice, but I think there's sometimes not always a choice.
What do you want me to do?
You can't go back through the door, can you?
Can,
Yeah,
but not very far.
Yeah, there's nothing here. Alright, yeah,
And
push the
here
button.
it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very
He's going
proud
to
to
talk
have
for
delivered.
minutes, isn't he?
No more
I
listening to
wonder
me
how
rambling
long
on and
he
on and
will.
on. No,
Oh, don't press
The
it just
Stanley
yet.
Parable is a
Alright.
game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness,
This is
that's
gonna
what
be an
they're going to
achievement.
get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll
If this is
pretend that I've
really
just
long,
begun an
ladies and
interminable
gentlemen,
monologue,
we'll
and
skip
it
ahead
goes
in the
something
video
like
for
this.
you, but
The story and the choices.
I don't
or
think
what
we
have
will.
you,
I think
and
we'll wait to
therefore,
listen
by
to all
becoming
of
it
it.
is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have
I
you,
wonder
and therefore, by becoming
if
it is,
this is like
so
a
on and so
group of
forth,
sound
until
files,
inevitably,
and they're
we
just
all
kind of
until
played
the
somewhat in
end of
random?
time, at which time everything all at
Right.
once. So now you see,
I don't
blah
know,
blah
though.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah,
'cause it's
blah,
not
blah,
looping,
blah,
is
blah,
it?
blah. We've
No,
eaten
it's
too
not
much and it
looping, not
can't
yet.
be just yet. No,
Oh, no,
until
hang on.
245. That the logic of elimination working
No, it is,
backwards,
it
the
is, it's just
deduction
looped.
therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly
it's just
10,000
looped.
years, until just
Okay.
yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime.
There's no
It
achievement
can't be.
pops yet.
It's the only
No.
thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is
You want
why
me to
I
press the
say,
button?
the
Oh,
story
God.
and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So
If there
now
was
you
an
see,
achievement,
blah blah blah
it'd
blah
be
blah
at a
blah
minute,
blah blah
probably.
blah 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 blah.
No,
We've eaten too much
I
and it
would
can't
not
be
put
just
money
yet.
on that.
No,
No?
until 245.
Well, you reckon it would be like
That the
10
logic
minutes
of
or something
elimination working
stupid like
backwards, the deduction therefore becomes
come to
impossible to
something later.
manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and
Shall
never
we
a
press
moment
the
before
button?
lunchtime.
Oh,
It
go
can't
on then,
be.
yeah.
It's the Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal
press
flourishes
it
and
again.
lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
No,
Of
no,
course,
don't
I happen
worry.
to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating
Well,
a
at least
choice
this
you've
is,
already made, you
coherent.
bring that choice into being,
Yeah.
then by making
The
no
last one was
choice
just
and
nonsense.
saying nothing, are you not
It
simply
really was.
erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever
This hasn't
been,
looped yet.
making every choice to
Has
which you've
it?
ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought?
I haven't seen
or rather,
any
do
use for
all
the
of
jump.
the choices you've ever made
Yeah,
in fact
so
make you
maybe
more
that's
not
not
this kind of
that
person,
useful.
and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition.
Yeah,
and
he's got a lot to
history.
say.
Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley.
This is
It's rescued me from
ridiculous.
disaster in
Wow,
countless situations.
this is so long.
Here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
Right, here we go.
manifesto.
This is it.
Treatise.
Right,
Yeah.
skip.
Manifesto.
Okay.
Treatise. Manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over.
He's doing it
I
again.
can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can
It's
change
okay.
their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to
wonder
check
how
on before I
many
went
of
on about
the,
this whole
our audience
exercise
have
of
skipped.
making the skip button.
Yeah.
Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new
If you
feature
haven't
to make it
skipped,
possible to
write
edit one's
Stanley in the
review
comments.
merely because of this very situation.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized
wow.
gas altering this particular review so that it
You
reads as
don't want to
something more
skip because this is
beneficial.
very entertaining.
Something
but
along
on
the
other
lines
hand,
of, this game is the best
it's
game.
very clearly told you it wants you
Let me
to skip
start
all
over.
this.
How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix
Oh my
of quality.
God.
Right,
I
press
think
skip.
we got to the end.
I think we did.
There aren't
Well-
even any. What you call it? There aren't even any subtitles anymore.
Press skip then, I guess.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's
You
not
lie.
unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I
No,
can
we
ramble
got to
on
the end.
myself
We got
about.
to
I
the
know
end
it's
of it.
shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Oh.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that.
He's
Do you
carrying
see a
on.
window anywhere?
Yeah, he
A
is, yeah.
porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There
What
was
am I
a
doing?
door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was.
Have a
Where did
look
it go?
around the back.
Can you maybe
See if there is
just
another door.
ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough
No.
damage is done for you to be able
Right.
to leave? Please,
No,
I'll take
though
any
that
option at
was
all.
one of my
I'm
all-time
asking
favourite
you to
episodes
work
of
with me
Doctor
here.
Who.
We need a
Anyone
door.
who knows what I'm
We need a
talking
door
about
of
was
some
a
kind.
wonderful
I
Peter
can work
Capaldi
with any kind
episode.
of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm
What are we
going
doing?
to
I want
step
to
away
see how
for
long
just a
he
moment,
talks for
and I'm
again.
going to
Yeah,
try
fair
to
enough.
find us a door. I don't know how
We're in a
exactly
bumper
to remove
episode
a door
this
and place
time,
it in a
guys.
different wall,
Guys and
but
gals.
I will
Oh, yeah.
find
All
a
who are
way, I
watching.
promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not
He's still
press
going.
the skip
That's
button.
not-
Just
He is?
wait
This
here.
is all new.
Wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes.
He's not
good.
pressing it.
I'll be right back.
Oh, he's going. He's gone.
We did
I
it
don't know why I'm
again.
looking around. We can see him at the best of times, but
Right, press it then. he's just gone, isn't he?
I wish I'd been paying attention to the clock.
Oh god, yeah. So what does that say? 25 past 2.
About that, yeah.
Right, okay. Press skip.
Do we wait or am I pushing the button?
If we wait, I've got a funny feeling you just wait forever until you press it. So yeah, press it.
May very well be the case.
Yeah. Press it.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback.
No,
why is it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea.
I wonder if anybody has literally not pressed it and just watched that tick around.
But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive.
Oh, guys.
I can't help myself.
If you
I can't
sat
stop
through
myself
this
from
with
lashing
us,
out with
well
a
done.
vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is it? And here I am now stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button. To become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me.
Oh my God.
And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't
This is longer
ignore
than the last one, I
negative
think.
feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea.
If you want me to press the button.
I don't remember that.
Really matter, but here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my
can't do anything till you tell me.
I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve?
Right, yeah, there it is.
Whose
Right, yeah,
benefit is
right.
this?
Press.
And here I am
press
now,
skip.
stuck in a...
Pressed.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to
tree's
talk
dead.
to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here.
Oh.
Not a single person to speak with.
There's a
And
light
you'd
at the
think
back.
that's just how
Light at
it's
the
Oh,
back?
is that,
been.
or is that the light
Me
shining
talking,
from that?
I think it's
you
that.
saying nothing. Would you think that it's
Yeah,
exactly
I
the
think
same as
that.
always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving.
I'm so
It was
tempted to
the
say
vessel I needed, Stanley, not the
Just cut him
outcomes,
off.
not the story.
Yeah.
None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can
How much
hear me,
writing went
then
into
maybe
this?
it
My
means
God.
I'm real.
Oh, a ton.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
And
Was I
if it's to
scared
be,
of
this
that
is
all
all
along?
based on.
Perhaps. Yes.
This is
Perhaps I've been scared this whole time.
all
that if
based
I stop
on the new
speaking, I'll slip
content?
backwards into the silence and be consumed by
I
it.
think so.
I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the
I
stretch
know there are
of
a bunch
emptiness
of
between
new
you and me.
endings because
When
of
you
the
press that button,
for the
you're
new version.
still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us.
He's still
And I am
carrying. My
suspended in its
God, how long
unyielding
is this?
quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying.
I think
I
we've
can
been going
tell
almost
that I
15
am
minutes
becoming less and less
listening
real.
to this.
Yet to speak to you now,
There's a
I'm
lot to
alive.
listen to.
I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't
Wow.
you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence.
I'll be
together here
impressed
for
if
just a moment.
one of you
Let
guys
us
in the comments has
anticipate
listened
it.
all
Let
this
us
way
work
with us.
it. Let us not run from it.
Right?
Are we going to
That's
sit
it.
here forever in this silence, or are we going to press the button and run away from it?
I think the only way to end this is to press the button, to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah?
press it. Press it.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down
year?
in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it
Battery
for you.
is run dead
To
on the
begin
clock.
with, there is
Yeah,
only
it's not
regret.
moving.
There is only the turning wheel of
There's no
missed
lights above, is
opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest
the lights
time.
are out.
Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life.
Nothing's changed,
All
is
of
it?
them
There's no other
collapsed
door that's
down into a
appeared.
single instant. In that
I haven't
instant,
walked round.
I could
Let's
see
have a
myself
walk round.
clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of
This
both
makes me
delight
wonder
and
why
disgust
that back wall is
simultaneously.
there.
I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike
Oh my
anything
God,
I
he's
had
going
ever
again.
known. It was a space without consequence, without action
That is the
or
joke.
outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will.
Oh,
that you
do
and
we
I have
carry on
squabbled
letting
over
him
for so
talk it
long.
out, or do we
There
press?
could be no
It's
one
up to
ending,
you, you're
no
in
singular
control.
outcome of events. Not
You
if
just gotta
all
tell me to
events
press that
existed
button.
in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened
what? I've
by the
actually had
need
enough
to
now, yeah, press
manifest
it.
a particular outcome into being.
Rude.
Oh. He isn't even here. Oh, silence.
Kind of eerie.
Finally shut him up. I couldn't listen to that last one. We've been sitting here listening to this for that whole time.
See,
Yeah.
this is why we're very different people. I would have listened to every fucking second.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
It was that last one. I couldn't do it. I was like, no. Right, press it. See what happens. Oh. Okay. Oh, that battery's gone on the fire alarm.
Yeah.
The clock's fallen off somehow. Press it again.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First,
right,
he
let's
didn't
listen to
entertain
this
us, now he won't shut up.
Okay,
It's the
we'll listen to
inconsistency,
this.
it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so, because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves.
About those
I am
reviews.
a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad.
Real review
They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity.
Yes,
and cannot
very
help but
much so.
attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves
21 minutes
they
so
couldn't
far.
help but leave a negative review on pressurized gas. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down.
Every
This,
time
you can
the video's
see,
gonna
is
end, it
clearly
doesn't.
why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny.
Wait, do you hear it's
that it be
looped?
filled with yucks
I
and
think.
Is it?
musical humor.
I think so.
That it amused. But they didn't understand the
Oh,
game
there it
was
is.
never
That was
meant
it.
to be
Yeah.
funny. It was meant to have a point. It was
Right,
meant
yeah.
to speak to the human condition.
Press it.
But where are the
Yeah.
jokes? Where are the jokes?
Yeah, that was the loop.
He's quiet again.
He is quiet again. Has anything else changed? I don't think anything else has changed. You can't go up that step ladder, can
Had
you?
a drip.
Oh yeah, I heard that, yeah.
But I don't know if that's new. Press it.
Yep.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Oh my god.
Is never the end.
I don't know if I can do that one.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Get
end.
more water. Move on.
Never the end.
Move on. I can't do that one. I definitely hear more water. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's leaking back here. Are we gonna end up drowning? Is that the way out?
I wonder.
Whoa! Is there a way out?
Nope.
Just the button. Yeah,
Yep.
press it. Yep. Daylight!
Still can't get out.
Still can't get out. Alright, press it. Oh. Still can't get out.
Nope.
Press it. Oh, whoa. That changed quick. Still can't get out. Press it. That was creepy. Oh,
Still creepy.
very creepy. Oh, can't even press the button anymore. Yes! Get out! Have a look.
Yeah?
Can you press? I don't think you can press the button.
Can't press the button.
Right. So that's it. What's outside? Beach. Interesting.
Travelled a long way into the future.
We finally escaped! We did it! We escaped!
I know, but
We outlived
I
him!
never found out what happened to our colleagues, or
That's
what
true.
was the experiment about, or anything else really.
I mean, we found out a load of numbers that I've written down, I'm looking at, and makes no sense. There's a computer that we've pressed twice and got 2 pink dots,
Yep.
and the table was 423. Oh! Oh, that was it! Loading.
Well, that was a whole thing.
That was a whole thing.
Join us next time for more of this. Goodbye.
See ya.